The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Bridgewater. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Man, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now, because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
Let's go. X3. 2-3. Stop.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action now. Lawrence. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through the completion there. Now drive the start with field position is facing 4th down.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. The kick by Gould is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll be looking to make amends for that first drive, which came to a rather abrupt ending.
Certainly did, and I remember going back to my notes before this game, and a lot of times when I scout a guy, I have a little section about how does he handle adversity. And in this case, a big check mark. He may have thrown the first interception, but I don't think he's going to throw very many more. Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. The Ravens had 7-4 on the year, and they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Play action now. Bridgewater. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They currently sit 1 game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. But Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
Now Lawrence to throw on 2nd down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. Looking downfield for Jones. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Bridgewater. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. And they'll They'll try and run the option to pick it up. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, I came into this game eager to see how they would hold up in man coverage. And on that play, they held up quite well.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now they'll give it to the first option. That's their fullback. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Bridgewater. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does. And that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Bridgewater to throw it. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Ready, quick.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Ready, set.
They'll start by running the option to the right. They pitch it out to Singletary. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
Three, a tight one after one on EA Sports. They go play action with Lawrence. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
That was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Lawrence. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And they'll begin by running the option. They'll pitch it out to Madison. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking. That's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On play action, it's Bridgewater. Out to his left. Pass on the crossing route is complete. This is Andrews. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Davis-Price on 1st and 10. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Bridgewater going to keep it running right. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you. 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away. Tuck it away because you've got to take care of the ball.
Singletary to get the drive started. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Now Lawrence. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
Now think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight. Planted their feet and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
He'll decide to keep this once more.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Bridgewater now. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in the ballgame. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Zerline connects on the extra point. The lead is now 10-3. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Ravens are going to take over here up near the 40. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Bridgewater's throw complete there to Bateman. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. From the gun, Bridgewater. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Bridgewater. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. Zerline's kick is up and through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. A give up the middle to Singletary. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Lawrence to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. And got his man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back,
maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
On the option, Bridgewater calling his own number.
And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50.
65 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis.
Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield.
And the pressure gets to him again. Randy Gregory. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Bridgewater to throw for it on 4th.
Yet again, targeting and fighting Mark Andrews. And he is going to have his first down as the defense nowhere to be found there. A gain of 20 on 4th down.
That's a big pickup on the first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, the touchdown a minute ago on offense got him back into it, and now the defense turns right around and forces the turnover.
And you and I both know if you're going to come from as far down as they have to, it's going to take both sides of the ball, maybe even the special teams to get involved. And so far, they've done exactly that. Offense scores, defense does its job. They're making their move.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
Looking downfield for Jones. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Marvin Jones. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Broncos have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front.
This time the extra point up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
The way you described it makes me think that one actually hurt them 3 times. They coughed up potential points, then they went for to get a touchdown off of the fumble, and third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
Here's Madison running left. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Bridgewater. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
First down, Bridgewater. Over the middle, complete. It's Andrews.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Yeah, the Ravens are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets him down to the 6-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Going to run with Madison again. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Now Teddy on the keeper.
And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
3rd and goal for Bridgewater. Steps away to his left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Zerline's kick is up and through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So with less than a minute gone by here in this fourth quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to even.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great fourth quarter.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the counter, this is Singletary. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Lawrence on third down. Looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Lawrence scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up third down. There's Andy Leno as he's on the punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. They go play action. Bridgewater slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. To throw is Bridgewater. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down. Here's a give to Madison running right. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, it's exactly what you're looking for.
Here's Madison getting it again on second. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
84 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll send a receiver in motion left. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Bridgewater. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone. Right back to Singletary on 2nd down.
And some room to maneuver. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. They go right back to Singletary. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 43 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
And that not what they wanted. They lose yards on 1st down.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Back to throw, Lawrence. He's going to let it go again. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And he will be taken down, and that means we are headed to overtime. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. First throw of overtime for Trevor Lawrence. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
Ready?
Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lawrence, flush to his right. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether we're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Something looked weird there up front. The offensive lineman, it's like they weren't on the same page.
Yeah, every play design has a huge element of trust that everyone's going to do their job. But if one person doesn't and you have a breakdown, everything goes to rubble.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Open man is Higgins. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. The kick by Gold is good, and they have regained the lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just...
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The fumble on first down now. Here's 2nd down.
What can Bridgewater do in the OT? And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath. And boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Picked off by J.C. Jackson. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel. Came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So for Denver, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.